Good day everybody. Good day, bear with me. A little bit chaotic today. Oh, just wait for Louise to come in from the shop. Okay, I'm not quite sure what to say actually. A lot of people coming in today. Thank you all so much. We got Jason back, Jason the whiteboard, which should be pretty interesting. So we just have to wait a little bit. Hope everyone's okay. Sorry it's a little bit late. Again, short-staffed again. Jason is away, despite him being on the board here, because he is not behind the board, as you can see. That's Jason's desk. And Sharon was supposed to be in, but she's not well. So she's in towards the end of the day, so many apologies for that. Louise is just finishing now with the customer. Yes, we're downstairs again in our working workshop, so I'm sure we're going to get some interruptions. There's a guy looking in the window now. Not quite sure what the guy's doing. So if anyone, can you all hear me first of all? Before we go any further, can you hear me? Let me know in the chat. I think I can just about see the chat box on the side here as well. Just let me know. Oh, hang on a second, Louise is... we have a delivery. Oh, the joys of a working workshop, eh? What's that?
Shopping again?
Shopping again, Andrew. Shopping again. Right, you're on camera. No, you're on camera. You're on microphone now.
Okay.
What's in here? Oh, no, what's in there? Okay.
Looks like trainers.
No, that's not trainers. Me buy trainers, darling? No, I don't buy trainers. No, it's a saddle for my bike.
Is
It's
it
just one. It's a special saddle. Yeah, special saddle. So I don't
What's
get.
special about it?
There's like gap in the middle, so it doesn't cause me any pressure.
No, I don't want to know.
So can you hear Louise as well? Louise, can you have a bit of a hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Well, it's been so busy today.
Oh, I got to set
Been
up
rushed off my feet. I think I shall need new shoes.
New shoes, what, the shoes that you were looking at earlier on this afternoon?
Excuse me, I've been busy.
Hang on, let's have a look at number 2. I have my close-up. Where are you? You're on number 4 still, aren't you? There we go. So Louise is in. You can't see what it is now, can you? Here we go. So do you want me to show you what it is? Is that okay, Louise?
Yeah, okay. Is this for me?
Yes.
What is it? Cold water?
There's coffee. Oh, your coffee. Hang on. There's your coffee. That is cold water, in case you wanted cold water as well. Right, okay.
Okay,
so
thanks.
Many apologies about the disorganised state that we're in today. Again, as I just said, short-staffed. Half the team are off. Louise and I just haven't stopped. It's the first day.
Why did you say Jason on the board?
Because the kid, I said, that's Jason there. As I said, I get more work out of that board than what I do with Jason, so I've named it Jason. Or Jason Mark II. So it's the bank holiday yesterday. So today being Tuesday, that's the reason why we didn't live stream yesterday. We're live streaming today, and it hasn't stopped. That bell's been going. It really has not stopped. Glad everybody can hear. It's all looking good. I'm just looking down my little control panel here. We're on air. Everything's being recorded. We got a nice little cutting back and forth. There's Louise. Oh, hang on. Auto. That's better. Nice bit of a fade in and out. So Louise is on the chat. She will be asking the questions. There's no third camera. We don't have an overhead camera today because we're down in this workshop. So Louise, it's about 4:05. Shall we have our first... Oh, what day is it? No, not yet. Hang on. I've got to introduce it because we've got to cut this for at the bench. So today is Tuesday, 1st of September. It'll nearly be Christmas. And we want... what? And we want our first question, I think, Louise. May we have our first question, please?
Yeah.
The girl with all the PCs in front of her.
Michael is asking, I've been making jewellery by hand for years now and want to start lost wax casting, but don't know what to go with, centrifugal or vacuum. What is your look on it?
All right then, so yeah, we're lucky to have both. I find that strong coffee, isn't it, Lou? We've got both. We've got centrifugal and we've also got vacuum. I love centrifugal casting because it's the excitement of the gold spinning round, it's molten. I love that excitement. You get that bit of a climax when you pull the lever and it spins. I love it. And I find that is great up to a certain amount of castings. I think around about 20 to 30 grams we've done about the maximum used in centrifugal casting. Anything more than that, we would then use our vacuum casting. Now, vacuum casting, I've had really mixed results with vacuum casting. I found that any of the masters that are quite near the sprue don't get a successful fill. They don't get cast properly, so you have to move the masters further down the sprue. So if it was me and I'm casting, 2, 3, 4, 6 items, centrifugal all the way. If you want to get into more items than that, then definitely the vacuum is the way to go. The advantage by having a vacuum, though, I have the per cast investment table and the vacuum chamber, is the fact that I can vacuum my investment powder and flasks using that side of it and then cast using that side of it. So I'm quite lucky. If you've just purely got centrifugal and that's all you're going to be doing, you've got to have a vacuum table to suck all the air, the bubbles out of your investment powder when you've mixed it and also when you put it into your flask. So that's something that you have to look at as well. If you went for your per cast, your investment table and vacuum chamber, it's all built into one. Otherwise you've got to have two separate things, your centrifugal and your vacuum table. Next question, please, Louise.
I've just realised I've missed a few questions. I'm so sorry. I missed that. Jessica, who has just got a flip shaft and is amazed at how much of a polish I can get without compounds. I'm curious as to why compounds are used and if a high shine is possible without them. Will the shine wear away quickly? Okay,
so if you think you can get a good shine without any polish, just imagine the shine that you can get with polish. Now, what you may be forgetting is that, say you're working at the bench and you've used your emery papers, your sanding boards, your sanding papers, whatever. They're quite gritty. There's a bit of a grain to them, bit of a texture to them. Now, if you just simply got your polishing mops without any compound, without any polish, and you tried to clean it up, you can't. You need the compound to be able to produce another finish, a slightly finer finish. Now, we use two polish. We use a Tripoli and we also use a Menzerner pre-polish. We use them with a variety of things like these here. These are our white nylon brushes. We use these with the cutting compound, the Tripoli or the Menzerner, and then we also use things like little felt mops like these. Again, these are hard, so we use those for things like Menzerner and Tripoli to get that pre-polish. Then once I've got that pre-polish, then I would go over then to some nice soft mops, some really nice swans down or some wool mops, and then use some this way. It's back to front. I would go back this way and I would use some rouge or a fine polish. So that is the reason why you have polishing compounds. They're not just polishing, they're also cutting compounds. Just turn Louise's microphone off. Mind the leads. Oh, you're limboing today, are you? Yeah. So that is the reason why. You may be able to get a good shine, but it depends on that finish before you use those mops without any cutting compounds on. But if you want to get a better, superior finish, and I know what you mean, sometimes you can get away with just using perhaps almost a neat woolen mop to get a fine, super finish. But you add that bit of fine polish onto it and that shine will become even better and better again. So there we go. Right, next question, please, Louise. Yes, Andrew.
So is this your last one?
What else we got? Okay, Dapper Dan. I made my girlfriend a ring for our anniversary and she loved it. Had it engraved and the jewellery shop was even impressed with it. You're a great teacher. And cannot thank you enough. Cheers. So that's very nice. Thank you, Dapper Dan. Really impressed. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. And I hope your girlfriend really appreciated that as well. Tanya, let me turn this around so I can actually see When I look into there we go. So Tanya's asking, she just bought herself some new safety pickle. How do I get rid of it? How do I get rid of the old safety pickle? The best thing to do there would be to get something like a cat litter. Not quite sure what you've got in your country, but like a cat litter. Put that in a container, put your safety pickle into that cat litter so it gets rid of all the moisture. Then you've got your almost like your cupric solution of copper. Then I would take that then to your local refuse tip, your council tip, and say what you've got and get them to dispose of that. Some people will actually put something like bicarb into the pickle as well to neutralize it, but you never know how much neutralization it actually needs. So I don't think I would do it that way, or perhaps do it that way and then also take it to your local tip as well, and explain what you've got, and then they then can dispose of that correctly. Told you it's going to be a busy day, didn't I? So that would be the best way to get rid of your safety pickle. I've been asked to make a sterling silver charm bracelet with an avocado charm on it. Wondering what advice you could offer. I am still learning. With an avocado charm. There are two ways. Perhaps you could try and cast this. You could get some cuttlefish and you can cast it with some cuttlefish. But what you'd need is a little master to start off with. Perhaps, I'm not quite sure where you are in the world, but we now have started to get acorns on our oak trees, and you could virtually get away with an acorn as an avocado, perhaps, and you may be able to cast a small little acorn, or you could actually cast it. You could carve that in wax, perhaps get a wax tube, something like that, or even get a piece of wood, a piece of dowel, and whittle it into the shape of your avocado, and then from that then you can use cuttlefish to cast that, or you could use delft clay casting, and you can delft clay cast that as well. I think if you're starting and you don't have much equipment, it's going to be a little bit on the tough side. Perhaps you could melt down a little bit of silver, get a charcoal block. This is Louise's phone, but I'm pretending it's a charcoal block. What's a picture of me? Yeah. Get a charcoal block and perhaps make a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a depression into the charcoal block. Then get your silver, put it into the depression, heat it up with the torch until that silver melts, and push it into the little hole, little sort of almost like half or three-quarter avocado that you've actually carved into the charcoal. Then you've got a rough sort of mold that then you can start to file it and to shape it with your files. So I think that may be the best idea that you're going to have, I think. Yeah, make an avocado in art clay, anything like that, clay, some Fimo, anything like that is what you can do. And then from that, then you can cast it in cuttlefish, or you can cast it in delft clay. Okay, what is the next question? Okay, lost wax castings, we've done Michael's. So bear with me a second, I'm being asked a question.
Sorry, I need to steal it for a minute.
Go on.
This can't be stretched, can it, because of the...
Got to put a piece into it.
So going to an R is going to be...
Two sizes in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So they're saying the shop is still open. Okay, so what we have to do, Sam? Good, Janet, I'm glad the cocktail shaker idea worked to loosen the top. Nice one, I like that. And your ring finger is just put back to normal. Really good. Really pleased for that. Well done. I've discovered what a difference it makes to add with salt from a vinegar pickle. The salt is quite necessary. Nice one. Let's have a look what we got. So we got. I'm not going to answer the phone. Okay, so Sandra, for the Canadians online today, any suggestions on where we can buy the white nylon brushes? I'm sure that you can actually get them from Motto Fry. Guess Wine. So look, let me just quickly check on Guess Wine in a minute, or I'll have a look. Try on Guess Wine. That isn't how you spell nylon. Okay, so it doesn't like you can get them on Guess One either. Okay, so if you want to go and search for, go to betsmetalsales.com. I think it's Bets Metal Sales. So bear with a minute, guys. Yeah, go to Bets Metal Sales. I've just posted it as Louise on the chat. So go to Bets Metal Sales. You can find the white nylon brushes on there. And yes, I know that they will ship out to Canada. In the meantime, I will try and find something a little bit nearer to home for you to be able to get that. So we shall go back to the questions. Okay, no bank holiday in Finland. I'm sorry about that. It's hot bank holiday, Janet, in Forteventura. We are so jealous of where you are. We'll get to Forteventura, I'm sure, one day. I want to start setting stones. What are the best burrs to start with? Let me pop over to my other chair a minute. So the best burrs to start with, it depends on...
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
No, go on. No, go on.
Just wanted a bit more magnification.
So the best burrs to start off with, it depends on what stones you want to set. You want to set some faceted stones, okay? So think about a faceted stone. A faceted stone is that shape, okay? So you want to flush set that stone, okay? So the best burr to get for that would be a setting burr, straight-sided, like that. Okay, that is the best size, best shaped burr to go for. Get the same diameter burr as the same size as the stone. Make life far, far more easy for you to do that. And from that then, you can go into your piece of metal and make that shape, because that is the shape of that burr. That stone can come in and that stone will sit in perfectly. Okay, so for me, these are the number one burrs to get. You can also get "90-degree" setting burrs, so which look like that. Hello.
I can't see this one.
That's okay.
Tiny.
Let's have a look. Where's all my eyeglasses gone now? Yeah, please. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. No. Let's have a look. 275, 9 carat.
Can you see that?
You didn't know what to look for. The number's 3, the number's 7, and the number's 5. Okay, so those burrs are definite. That straight-sided, absolutely definite. Then, they're quite a fine tooth. What I'd also suggest you get are either bud burrs that will look like that, and there's teeth, and those teeth are quite aggressive, so they're quite open, so they'll cut metal faster than the fine toothed burrs. Either them or ball burrs, which are quite easy to know, and they're ball burrs that would look like that. Again, these types of burrs are nice and aggressive to remove the metal before you move on to the finer straight-sided setting burrs. And if you can get the straight-sided setting burrs the same shape as the stone, you're in. It's going to be far, far easier to do that. Right, next question. Okay, next question. Gillian, glad you liked the druzy. More to come. Thought I'd do something a little bit different with that druzy and put a bit of texture, a bit of pattern on it, just to replicate those sort of facets on the stone. So yes, I'm glad you're liking it so far, and thank you very much for joining up. Whoa, I may have a little something special for all of you guys who stick around to the end. May have something special for you. What else? Hello everybody. Yeah, can you solder brass to silver and copper? Is it great just like silver? and copper. Eddie, yes, you can solder brass. You can use silver solder, not a problem, not a problem. Beth, which you could show us what your customers are buying whilst they're in the shop. It would be a bit awkward to do with not licensing, but what's the word? Recording people without them knowing, and I wouldn't want to do that. Wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, just soldered. Jenny said just soldered brass to silver, no problem, and it is no problem. Just use some silver solder. Want to start casting your own designs? I know Delft clay casting system at home, but how professional is it? What would you recommend? Cecil, certainly Delft clay, brilliant way to understand how things work, brilliant way to understand how casting works and where to attach sprues onto masters and so forth, and to understand how the metal flows and how you cast. We use Delft clay casting here still in our workshop because sometimes it's quicker and easier to cast something a one off or two off using Delft clay rather than having to make a wax mold and make the tree and invest it, which will take all day, or perhaps all day to invest it and perhaps a few hours then to make the master. So we still use Delft clay. It's ideal for one or two. If you want to have more than that and have multiples of things, well then lost wax casting would be the way to go. But if you're just starting out, it is so easy to send that master off to a casting company and get them to cast it for you rather than you outlay all the expense of all the equipment to be able to lost wax cast it. But yeah, Delft clay system, you can get the rings with the holes in the sides as well. So when you put the rings together, the holes in the side, really do recommend them if you're doing rings. Absolutely brilliant. You can get the rings with no holes in, but the metal has to go down through the top and into the cavity. But if you have it so the rings go together this way and there's a hole, half a hole in half a hole in the other, absolutely brilliant. You'd be well away with that. But yeah, definitely Delft clay casting. It is professional. It depends on how you use it, but there are limitations to it. You can't have any undercuts or anything like that, because when the master, the mold goes into the sand, it's got to come back out again, so you can't have any undercuts. So when it goes in, if there's an undercut, the sand will fill those undercuts, you pull it out, it's going to break the sand. So you can't have any undercuts, so it does have its limitations. We got films now on, where we got the films on? YouTube. Check out, we've got some nice films on YouTube that showing exactly how we cast rings and balls for a torque bangle as well. Let's have a look, see what else we've got. What's the best way to fabricate a stepped bezel with an open back for a cabochon? Best way to fabricate a stepped bezel, you can buy your own bezel strip or go across to the board a second. You can make your own stepped bezel. And you can do that by doing this. I'll leave that open there because Jason's working really hard. Looks like it's Andrew's show today because Louise is still out there. She is busy, busy, busy. What I would suggest, if you want to make your own stepped bezel, is to get your metal, say a rectangular strip of metal that is long, that is like this, okay? So this is a rectangular piece of metal. This height here is the height of your bezel, as high as that bezel needs to be. That incorporates the side of the stone as well. And then what I would do is solder on another strip of metal that would be a little bit smaller, okay? So this is my other small little piece of metal here, and I would solder that up against this piece by here. So then we have like that there, okay? So that, let me just remove some of these lines, we don't really need them. So then that is what it would look like. It would look like that. Or from the other way around, you've got this sort of shape here. I'm with you now a minute, Lou.
Sorry.
No worries. You've got that there, and then that then would be your stepped bezel. Hands off?
Yeah.
Yeah, 450 tomorrow? Yeah. No worries, yeah. Then you can solder a strip to the side of that piece. So now your stone sits on this ledge. So if you've got like a cabochon, the stone will sit on that ledge here. And likewise, if you've got faceted stone or whatever. But this height then here needs to be the correct height for your cabochon. So this height here that is above the edge has to be the correct height, or a little bit more, then you can always file that down. So that is the best way then to make a stepped bezel. Then in theory it's a simple matter then of just making it round or making it oval, making it pear shape or marquee shape, then to put your stone into place. But that is ideal. It can be an open back because the stone sits on this edge here, or if you even wanted to, you can make up a plain bezel, simple bezel that would fit around the stone, slightly smaller than the stone, so the stone doesn't quite fit inside the bezel. Then get a burr like the straight sided setting burr I just showed you, and then burr around the inside of the bezel to open up the top section of the bezel for the stone to sit in. And that's another way that you can make a stepped bezel as well. I can't see the chats, so I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm just going to find out now. Okay. Are we on? This number 4? Yep, this is number 4. Okay, so there we go. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you all for your patience as well. Really do appreciate it. Louise is a little bit busy in the shop with the customers at the moment, so let's see what else we've got. Hello for everybody. Beside borax, what is the next best all-round flux that works well with sterling, copper and argentium? Tammy girl, I always use borax. Borax is the only flux I ever use. I have been known to use something like Allflux or Magic Boric as well. I think Allflux, AUFLUX, is another flux that you can use. I don't really use anything else apart from borax. I find that borax is brilliant. Borax is sold in all the countries. Borax is sold in Guesswine and everywhere. So for me, borax works, but any other flux, Allflux works just as good, just as good. Orfa, good to see you from Belgium. Still a dent in your finger, Janet. Yep, good news. Yep, good day, good day. Different bale ideas. Simple, easy to make from sterling silver bales. Made some from scrap. Bales are really, really easy to make. Jason's looking handsome. He is, isn't he? Yes. So we've got the bales are the simplest type of things that we can make. We make them all the time here. The easiest way to do it would be to get a sheet of metal, yep, and cut out this shape. Okay, cut out that shape. You can just about see it. Dum, 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 dum. It's that shape. Yeah. Like that, you bend it in half so it is almost like a diamond shape, like that. Okay, that's the shape. Fold it in half, and what have you got? You've got that, which is the right bale shape then for a variety of applications. Yep, like that there. If you make it from metal that's a little bit thick, what you can do is get a half round file and put a little bit of a dip as well, and have that bit of a dip running down this way as well, so it's slightly fluted almost, you could say, that way. Or you could even cut down like that, cut that section out if you wanted to with the file or with a saw. That then would make something what's called rabbit's ears. So these are the rabbit's ears. But anything like this is going to be far, far better than any of the bales that you can make. The other type of bale that I also make occasionally is this shape, obviously. Yep, like that. Then I solder a wire onto the here. So from the side view, I solder the wire here so it comes out, and I bend that wire around and down like that. So this is the front of the bale. So you can hang whatever you want down on this little area here, and the chain then runs through here. So it would look something like that there, and this would come around like that there. Does that make sense? That's my silver there. This is the front. So this is the back. Again, brilliant because you can make this whichever style you want. You can put some texture in it. You can cut, you can't cut a V, you can cut some shapes into it, make it into a trifoil, whatever you want. So those are the easiest ways of doing bales that I know. From a little bit of sheet, you can mud down a little bit of scrap, hammer it, roll it, cut out this diamond shape like that, and you can make bales galore. Next question. Oh, thank you very much for the $20. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much indeed for that. Okay. Jason has a blank stare. I'm getting more work from Jason. He's still, he's in Poland now, is Jason. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Claire. Amco, hello. Can you find cool? I don't know where we are now, to be honest. What's everyone doing here now? We've got, let's have a look. Any more questions? Loud and clear down. Just watch my Druzy Quartz video. Brilliant. Lighting is funky. Everything. Yeah, everything. Okay, so I do apologize about the lighting. I haven't bothered altering the white balance on any of these cameras, but we've got fluorescent lights in here, so it is a little bit on the green side. So I do apologize for that. Steve, thank you so much for your wine fund. Absolutely brilliant. $20 will be absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Really do appreciate it. Let's have a look. Best metal sales. I did that. Have I missed any out? I'm back onto this one. How to enameling, add enamel to silver. Enameling is such a huge, vast. You can torch fire enamel. I would get some copper blanks to start off with. You can get bits of copper, you can buy copper blanks, heart-shaped rounds, squares, whatever. Get some copper blanks, yeah. Then get some enamel powder and just practice doing some torch firing with enamel in. You can get a tripod with a mesh, put your powdered enamel upon the copper, put it on top of the mesh, get your torch underneath and just practice heating it up and watching the process of enameling. See how the glass melts and just practice and start from there. That is the best way to start. And then once you've done that, then you can sort of venture onto silver and so forth. But start enameling on copper first, the basic of equipment, rather than investing in the kiln and the tripods and everything else. Practice on copper first. Questions for later. Are there any good tips on storing broken saw blades? I just leave them in my tray for a week, and then at the end of the week when I clear my tray, I just chuck that in my sweeps bag. So there's no real, for me, that's all I do. How do you store different types of gold? So are there many types, 10, 14, 18 card here featuring what containers? I'll show you my container. So this is a pipe tobacco tin that my father got for me from his work like 35 years ago. You can see the mess inside. And I just keep my solder in this tin. I don't have any special containers. The solder has what carat gold it is on it already, so I don't need to segregate them into 9, 14 because it has its number on it. You can also know what color it is because it'll have W for white and R for red and Y for yellow, obviously. So you don't need to keep them in separate containers. Once you've cut them into little pieces, if you want to do that, you can do. I've never ever done that. I find there's too many problems when it comes to that. You cut little bits, you don't know what they are. Color code them with felt tip pens, so then you know. Then you may put green upon it and easy solder, so all the little snippets that you see that are green are going to be easy solder. But don't even waste time doing that. It's far quicker to go in your thing, 9 carat red, there we go, snip, there's your piece. Okay, that's how quick it is, rather than going, I want some 9 carat red. Let me have a look. It's this container. Let me open that up there, get my tweezers here. I could have finished the job by the time you picked up a little bit of pre-cut solder. So don't bother with little pre-cut solders, don't bother with compartments, just chuck your solder in a little tin like I have. You pick it up, you know what it is, you can see what it is, pick it up, shears, snip, there's your pallion, job done. Yes, Billy, everything is tinted green. We're down in the workshop. Louise, did Andrew make the jewellery on your arm? Can you show it? John, no. She's wearing what's called nomination bracelets. It's these sort of bracelets that we sell in the shop. So we just basically wear the sort of things that what we sell. She did have a necklace around her neck that she's wearing from the shop, but the rings on her fingers, yes, I did make them. The pendant too. I'm not quite sure what pendant she has, but I know she's taken that from the shop to wear. Yeah, 170 grams of silver through centrifugal casting, 99% castings. Yeah, exactly. What type of adhesive would be suitable for sticking a stone pendant into a silver holder? Usually I would use something like an epoxy resin. Usually a quick setting, 10-minute or 5-minute, you get a resin, you get a hardener, and then from there then you mix it up and you've got 5 or 10 minutes to use it. Hardens absolutely brilliantly. That is what I would use, an epoxy resin. When would you use Tripoli and when would you use Menzuna pre-polished? In what ways are they different? To be honest, Trevor, they're not really that different. Some people will favour Menzuna, some people will just favour Tripoli. It doesn't really matter. I could use a Menzuna pre-polish and then a normal Radio Rouge fine polish. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever I've got to hand. Upstairs I've got a big bar of Tripoli. Downstairs here we've got some little half bars that we've used of Menzuna. For me, it doesn't matter. They're pretty much the same, although I have found that Menzuna does give a much better pre-polish than Tripoli does. What's Louise's coffee? Okay. Jenny says, in regards of polishing, how should it be removed? I've tried using another mop, but it doesn't seem to remove it at all. Okay, so you don't remove polish by using another mop. You really either physically have to remove that polish, or you could use something like an ultrasonic that would get rid of all the polish. Nothing like a tumbler, nothing like that. An ultrasonic that would have warm solution in it that then would dissolve the polish. Or you could use simply nice warm soapy water, soak the piece in it for a little bit, and that then should loosen the polish, and then you should get perhaps something like a baby's toothbrush, just so gently go over the piece just to remove that little bit of excess polish. So it's not a mop, ultrasonic or warm soapy water. Yeah, Julian, the avocado can be made in art clay, precious metal clay for the avocado. Yes, you could, Lisa. Good. Like that. Could you use Petrobon to cast jewellery? Yes, you can. Some people do prefer Petrobon over Delft clay when you come to do some sand casting, Delft clay casting. Petrobon, I find, is just a little bit too grainy. It's a little bit too coarse. So I find that the castings are quite rough. The surface is a little bit on the rough side. Some people say you have to hammer it really hard to get it compressed, but I still find it's a little bit crumbly, it's a little bit coarse, and I need a bit more of a finish, bit more of polishing and sanding and filing and polishing to get the masters back as they should be. And it's cheaper, I know, but for me, I'm a Delft clay kind of guy. I will go all the way with Delft clay. It's a far better superior finish because the sand is a lot finer than Petrobond. I wear sterling silver crosses and they turn black on one side. Bill 457. Yeah, usually if the silver is being worn and it's against your clothing, the back is constantly being moved and polished, and usually the outside, the front side here, doesn't get any abrasion, doesn't get any polish, so that will turn black. It turns black because there's sulfur in the air. Sulfur will come from everywhere. There's naturally sulfur in the air. Also, when it comes to, if you're in a town, there's sulfur in car exhaust fumes as well, so it's the sulfur that will turn the silver black. It doesn't turn the silver black where it's rubbing against your top, because it is rubbing against your top and it's being polished, but the outside doesn't get polished. That's why it turns black. So if you want to get rid of it, rub it with a cloth or repolish it. RN Stacker, yep, Delft clay for me is all the way. Let me just quickly look on here and see how we're doing with this one here at the moment. Okay. This is Louise's computer, and I don't know what I'm doing. Let's go back on here. Okay, Natalie, you still wearing the shell? She wear it good. Natalie was the winner of our shell giveaway. We did a bit of a raffle, and Natalie was lucky enough to win it. So congratulations, Natalie. Glad you're still liking it. Yeah, we raised over £1,600 for UNICEF. We got another 12-hour live stream coming up beginning of November, which to be honest is just around the corner. We're ready in time for Christmas. Loads of coupon codes from companies from around the world. Durston again. If you're thinking of buying Durston, thinking of having a Durston rolling mill or anything for Christmas, hang fire. I have got the best discount code that you will ever get, that nobody will repeat. I'll guarantee you that. And fantastic giveaways again from Durston and companies around the world as well. So stay tuned for the live stream beginning of November. It's going to be another 12-hour marathon session. Thank you so much, Steve. Yeah. For your wine fund, thank you very much. Sell, make money. Welcome, Jay. Buying a rolling mill this week because of the price of silver, considering 1350 combination. What do I give up if I choose the small? Okay, so if you go for something like a Durston Agile, the 130 is the width of the rolling mill. Okay, you have, for instance, a combination, an Agile. You've got a section over here. Let me go and draw it. That'd be the easier thing for you. Yeah, nice bales. Okay, so you want to go for 130 or 160? Go for a 160. A 160 you desperately need. Loop I have by there. There you go. PNS. Yeah, Nevada silver. It's just plated.
Oh, plated.
Afraid so. Not real silver, no. So you want to go for a rolling mill. You have got, so those are the rolls. Here's the frame on the side, and here is your little handle on the top, okay? So the 130 or the 160 is this measurement from side to side here. This is the measurement. So if you have an Agile, okay, so say you have, this is 130 from here to here. You've got little D-sections here. You've got V-grooves here for doing your square wire. Then what you've got left in the middle is flat. You've got a small area of flat, okay? But if you go for a 160, which is 30 millimeters wider, you'll still have the same amount of D-sections here. You'll still have the same amount of V-grooves here for your square wire, but the distance in the middle here will be wider. So you may say, but I want to do small little bits of silver. Great, but what if you want to do something wider? What if you want to melt, as you said, melting your silver down? You can make plates. If you've got a small little area here, you're very limited. And if you are buying a rolling mill, get one with V-grooves for doing square wire. Get something with the D-section as well. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Or get a mill with some extension rollers on the outside. Okay, and there's the extension rollers on the outside. These can be interchanged, and then you've got a nice wide area then that you can roll your sheet down.
Stainless steel?
Yes. No. Unfortunately, not a chance, I'm sorry.
Can you fix the...
Is this supposed to spin?
It's supposed to spin, but it doesn't spin freely. Get stuck.
It looks like the pin going through the centerpiece isn't straight. It's not going through the center, so it's off center. So it does that, and it's too close to here than there. So if it's new, I'd send it back.
It's passed down through generations.
In that case, I don't think you can, because it's pushed. See, it just gets too far. I don't think you can. You may be able to force it, but I think the pin's been dented. So no, I wouldn't say you can. No, it's just not going to shift. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Next question, please, Andrew. Yes, Andrew. Next question. Okay, here we go. Where are we up to now? So yeah, go for a 160, go for the widest that you can get. It's going to last you far, far longer in the long run. That makes sense. Difficult to find in supplies. I'm a student in Europe. I have limited funds, so shipping always costs a lot more. In Europe, the best thing to do is just to try and find, depends on where you are in Europe, you've got places like Carl Fischer in Germany, you've got Wing Wong, something like that, in Taiwan. You've got lots of other places out there that, and also shipping to Europe shouldn't be that expensive, even from the UK.
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, she's back. Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. Back. Okay. All right. I'm being chucked off now. Louise is back. Louise is back. Pretty girl's back. Okay. What's next?
I don't know how far you got.
That's cold. I got as far as on the right-hand side about shipping to Europe.
Where are we?
So,
come back. You know where you are. It's okay.
okay, I'll come back. Okay.
Go home.
No, please. It's hard work without you, Louise.
Is it really?
It is, yes. I'm sure I've missed out some things. What is a good entry-level rolling mill? I'm ready to upgrade from an economy mill. Go for a Durston Agile. Simple as that. You can get a discount off their site. Sign up for Durston's newsletter. You get a code that enables you to have a discount. You've got to enter that discount into the checkout and you can get a discount. But an agile mill is going to be the best way to go for. No, don't worry about it. Oh, dear, God. Oh, it's all going today. What's the most expensive piece I've ever made? So we'll buy here, Lou, okay? What's the most expensive piece I've ever made? I'll tell you now. It was a 2-carat diamond ring. Simple as that. Oh, they want to see the engaged. Oh, you haven't got your rings on today. Just got those on. Okay. Somebody was asking what jewellery we wearing and if I made them for you. You're on that camera by there now if you want to have you on to show.
What am I showing?
Your jewellery, the necklace I made. But we didn't really make that, did we?
I was going to say,
We didn't. We just bought the components for that. Yeah, we just bought the components for that. You're wearing something that just came in today.
Came in today, so I just decided to wear it. Oops, I've been told that by the reps that I need to wear everything. I've got my combination on.
Nice. And the rings, the wedding rings we made, and the.
Which way am I? I'm that way.
It's back to front. There you go.
Yeah.
And the wedding band.
Craft years ago. Still lovely. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, what was the question? Most expensive thing I ever made, was it's a 2-carat diamond ring, and that was about £15,000. That was a few years ago now. That's the most expensive thing I've ever made. Next question, please, Louise.
Susan, how do I tin solder copper piece gold plating the best way?
So that's that again. How do I turn?
How do I tin soldered copper piece gold plating the best way?
Copper. Oh.
Direct plating or in 2 steps with platinum first?
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't use a platinum first. I don't really know. I've never tried to gold plate copper. I would send it off to a specialist, I think, because they will be able to hard gold plate it for you as opposed to a soft gold plate, which is basically what we've got with our little baths. And I know that when you want to replate rhodium plate silver, you've got to copper plate it first and then rhodium plate it on the top. But I really don't know the exact answer. But for me, I would send it off to a specialist and get them to polish it and also then to plate it for you. And you're going to get a far better finish doing it that way. Next question, please, Louise. Oh. Pardon me.
Scrap over engineering. I want to make a setting without prongs for a 5mm square CZ stone. I tried making a square from bezel wide, but it came out just a bit off every time I tried. Tips I can try.
Tips you can try. Yes, make it, put it back on auto, make it in L shapes like this. Don't try and make it in one piece and make it square. Make it from 2 L shapes and it's far, far easier. Jason, you're worth your weight in gold today, mate. your mic's not on, isn't it? Isn't your mic on? You on
You
here?
turn me off.
No, you're on there.
Am I?
Yeah. Say again, say
No
hello.
sound on me. Yeah, look.
What, now?
Nope.
Yeah, it should be on. You're on. Yep. And it's flashing on here. See, on here. You should be on. Okay. Is it not falling down? No, it's still there. So your best bet is to make it in 2 L shapes. Is to make one L shape like that and make another L shape like that. You make sure that when you make your L shape that your square faceted stone sits in here. Then you file your strip to fit the edge. Okay, so this is your strip on the outside here of your gemstone, like that. Okay, so you know now this is exactly right. You know that this is exactly 90 degrees. You've got your next piece of metal to come along now. You put your next piece of metal in place and that will sit exactly here. Okay, then you now can solder, obviously take the stone away, then you solder the gap there, you solder the gap there, and then you cut it, remove that excess, you cut it, you remove the excess. That is the way you do square shaped bezel settings. Do not try and get a piece of metal and try and bend it to fit your square shaped stone in one go. It's never going to work. 2 L shapes like that, that works absolutely perfectly. Next question please, Louise.
Oh, I just jumped. Sorry, July.
It's okay.
How were you able to tell that item Louise handed to you was merely plated by such a quick glance?
You can by handling jewellery. We've been doing this now for sort of over 30 years. You can see how things look. You can find out when someone brings in a chain. You look at the ends where the clasp is. If it's got the jump rings are just put through and they're slightly oval, they're not soldered. It's the first telltale sign. It may have a little hallmarking tag. It may be rough. It may be sharp. Another sign. It may have a clasp that may be too shiny for what it is. It's another sign. Look at the edges of all the links. Perhaps if it's again it's a chain or if it's a ring. Have a look at the edges because that's what they're going to get the most wear. If they look white or if they look copper, it's going to be plated. Just have a look at the piece. You can tell by the sound. Get some gold chain in your hand and shake it and listen to it. Get some plated chain in your hand, shake it and have a listen to it. There is a difference. Gold tends to be a lot lower in sound than a base metal. Are you on? Oh no, you're not on. Sorry, you're on the wrong camera. Oh, sorry, Louise. I had you on the wrong one.
You're definitely scared I'll upstage.
Do apologize. You on camera 3
Star
there?
of the show, darling.
So that's the best way. What was brought in just now was, if Louise hadn't told me stainless steel, I would have had a hard job telling it was stainless steel, but I could tell it wasn't silver just purely by the look of it, how
Was
it
it the
shines.
ring?
Yeah.
I could tell it was, and I don't know anything, but it was,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just didn't look right, did it? No.
yeah.
Yeah. So there, so you just get to know these things. You get to see. We see the jewelry every day. Someone buys scrap, it comes in, and they've bought it from market stalls and so forth. If it's far too shiny, it's stamped 925. Look at it, and sometimes it is just rubbish. This had a 925 stamp, and it's been chromium plated to make it bright and white. You cannot be guaranteed that what is 925 is silver. So just look at it, pay attention to it. But just look at things. We had a charity shop come up from just down the road with about a dozen what she thought, didn't she? Was
Oh,
bless her.
she'd hit the jackpot.
Was 18 carat rings. It was a pile.
Came in like Mr. T, didn't she? Like proper rappers rings.
She was so excited. She thought, this is it. This is the day when they could close their charity shop and just buy Caribbean islands. But they came up and it was a bag full of rings. And I said, oh, these are rings that we had in years ago from people who were buying them in the pub. Oh, I don't know, but I don't go to the pub, she said. I went, no. But if you have a look at the rings, they're just far too heavy. The colour's not quite, yes, but they're stamped. I went, yes, but they're stamped with 18K or 18CT, which anybody can stamp anything 18CT. There is no law against that. If you try and sell it as gold, 18 karat gold, that then is against the law. So in this country, in the UK, we have our UK hallmark system, so everything has to be independently assayed and tested by the assay office. It puts on the correct UK hallmark. That is a guarantee that that hallmark is correct, what that metal is. Anything that comes into us that's stamped 18 CT, 750, 925, 22, stamped, those letters, those numbers, look at it twice. Not necessarily, maybe from a foreign country, but again, if they say we bought it in Spain, it says 18 karat, sometimes it's only 9 karat or even less than that. So we don't buy anything in or melt anything down unless it has a proper UK hallmark on it. Then we can be guaranteed then that is the correct metal for the stamp. So we had to kindly tell the lady, no, none of those rings were 18 carats. I'm awfully sorry. And she went back to her charity shop quite sad, didn't she?
She did, yeah.
She did. So those are the ways that you can tell how things aren't gold. Next question, please, Louise. With your mic
They did look
cone.
like they came out of a Christmas cracker as well, didn't
You know, they were
just
too
massive.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah, there's just something about them, isn't there? Not right at all.
yeah.
Next question.
Okay, Sarah is asking for tips for conquering nerves and fears when using your brand new Smith little tool.
Okay, it's just practice, practice, practice. That's all you got to do. We got our torches here. Got one of these little Appa lights. Doesn't always work. I always spent hours doing. I try and go.
It really is warts and all today, isn't it?
So I just simply use a cigarette lighter. And some people say don't use a cigarette lighter because there's gas in it. Okay, if there is gas in it, let the gas run out and just use the flint. But these are flintless, are they? Yeah, electronic ones. So I would always use that. I would always have like a number 6 tip on here. Don't forget, you can always go and blow the thing out because it isn't really that strong a flame. You just got to practice it. You just got to practice holding it, turning on the gas, getting what the flame looks like. Again, you can blow the flame out. Turn the gas and oxygen off, turn it back on. It is just purely getting to know, holding it, understanding the grip, understanding how much pressure you need to hold onto the torch, moving it around, getting really confident with it, getting some silver, putting some silver on your block, practice melting it, practice with a tip, getting a nice bushy flame, bit more oxygen, bit more of a hotter flame, but that is all it is. It is purely just practice, 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 and just being confident around flames. Again, we've been doing this for 30 odd years, and sometimes I'm a little bit overconfident when it comes to the flames, but yeah, using it every day, all day, every day, you really get used to how a flame is. And what is another thing that you can use is your hearing as well, because if you've got a flame, okay, you can't really hear this. You may be able to hear it if I put it near my microphone. Ish, you can just about hear it, but I find that hearing plays an important part as well. You can hear when the flame has got too much oxygen, it hisses, and I feel that is quite important. Anyway, Louise, next question. We've got about 5 minutes left. Next question, please.
You're at the end of the questions.
Are we?
Have you really gone through everyone's question?
No.
Oh.
Well, how? I've been going through. Is there anybody else on there?
Have you missed any?
I don't know.
Did you read them all?
Other than that, I've only ordered a Proops Brothers, cheap stuff. I'm sure there's other questions. Came across something stamps 925 that made it attracted like a magnet. Of course, you know, can't always tell from fake. But yeah, just got to be really careful when it comes to buying in jewellery. You really do. Let's have another look through there, Louise. See what else is happening. We're still on, aren't we? Yeah, excellent condition. Yeah. Any more questions? Come on, guys. Any
I
more
don't know
questions?
which ones you've answered because I've been.
I've been trying to go through step by step, one by one.
Really?
So I think
you've done well then, haven't you? If you've answered them all.
I think I have. Yes.
I don't doubt it.
Oh, I don't waffle.
Well, this would be the first time.
No,
that you've.
Let me just have a scroll through there. See on here.
Who's going to dob him in? Come on, guys.
Dust and Mia. Customers forget the abrasives in make up the
I don't think he has.
Yeah, I made an actual...
Andrew, you've not been doing it properly.
I tried to go through it stage by stage. I have the same problem. Cooks and Gold of European sales. I use Spain, DHL. Been a nightmare. If you need a rolling mill only in the US, I would suggest Pepe Churros combination. Harper, don't forget, you don't necessarily have to just stick with Pepe. Durston also have a US distributor as well. And I must admit, Durston Agile mills are equally on par with Pepe, if not better. Next, what else we got on there, Louise? Oh yeah, Louise's microphone is not on, but it wasn't. I'm sorry about that. All right, so I think it's coming up to close to about an hour now, isn't it? It's been, we started a little bit later. Anything you want to ask anybody? Or did you choose your 10 participants? We have been short-staffed, haven't we? We have.
We've really missed Sharon and Jason.
We have.
We're glad that Jason's relaxing and having some time off, and Sharon needs some time at home, so that's great. But we do really miss them.
It has been such hard work. I think this is the 3rd week now Jason's been off. He did come in, I think, for the live stream 2 weeks ago. He's been off. Obviously, we're trying to catch up on working at the bench as well. This at the bench, and also upstairs on at the bench, and also in the shop as well. And it's been absolutely manic these last 3 weeks. I think Jason's been off. I think Sharon's had 3 weeks off, 4 weeks. Sharon was supposed to be in today, but unfortunately she got stung by a bee yesterday, and she fell over and she hit her head and so forth. So she's not in today, but she's in towards the end of the week. So yeah, we do really miss, when people are off, it's so hard, isn't it? In a small little business, it's so hard trying to do everything that you're normally doing, and then you have to do twice the amount of work because you've got to do somebody else's work as well. So it really has been hard work. So yeah, we haven't let it go by the wayside, but we've just been so busy trying to keep the shop.
Many hours in the day.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been trying to keep the shop running and try and do everything else. But yeah, there is so many. But we do promise we will get them done this week, won't we, Louise?
So it's till 7 o'clock some nights, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have been here till 7 o'clock at night, just trying to get work done, input stuff onto the computer, all the repairs that come in as well, and the sales, the ordering, everything that has to be done. So it's a lot more than just what goes on here at the bench here, but it's everything to do with the shop, because Louise is only just 4th week now, Louise?
It's been, I think it's 5th week, isn't it?
5th week, so. And now Louise thought she would just sat there doing her nails, drinking coffee, didn't or not quite like that. But Louise has found that it is so hard because you have to do everything, don't you? It's everything, just not seeing to the customers in the shop, it's actually doing all the paperwork, getting all the repairs, ordering the bits and pieces.
Actually got to learn things.
It's hard, isn't it? The reps come round, so that's time gone, isn't it? The rep will come round for a morning. That's a morning's work that you cannot do. You have to then do that. Louise has had some stock come in today. You got to go through it. You got to check it. You got to make sure it's all on. You got to try it all on to see if it looks nice. So yeah, all this takes time. You got to put it on display. You got to put it onto the computer. So it does take a long time. Time for an apprentice. I've got Jason, and yeah, enough said about Jason. Anything else now, please, Louise? Some good news this week. You finally get to buy some gold to work with. Nice one, Madge.
Jason ever make an appearance?
No. Jason won't.
Shy.
No, Jason won't ever. We used to do live streams on a Saturday afternoon years ago on a channel called Livestream, and Grace, my daughter, used to be on the camera, and Jason used to be sat by the side of me on the computer, and he used to like point to questions, you know, as in, this is a good question, you read this out. So I'm trying to read the question, do the demonstration, do the soldering, do the polishing, and when I tried to move the camera, or Grace tried to move the camera, he used to dodge out the way. He never used to like to have his face, so you'll never see him on camera. Very rare. I think he's appeared in 1 or 2 vlogs, but just purely quick. He doesn't like his face being shown. So no, he'll never make an appearance. I am sorry. Janet, it must be wine time. I got a little silver bar this week to work with. Nice. Everybody seems to be getting on with everything, don't they? I think Dapper Dan, he said he made a ring for his girlfriend.
I saw that just before I got called.
That was lovely, wasn't it? Took it in then to have it engraved, and they said how good it was. That's absolutely brilliant, isn't it?
Amazing, well done.
It is really fantastic. Good, really good. Michael asking if you harden silver rings after soldering, especially on the setting. Don't bother. Never ever done that. Sometimes people will tumble, and the tumbling, the burnishing action will harden the silver. Some people say that works. Purely just polishing will harden the surface as well. When you're bending claws, that will harden the silver as well. So I have never ever tried to harden the silver. If you're going to use fine silver is going to be a little bit softer than a sterling silver, so you may find, yeah, we'll close it now. Yeah, you can go.
I'll just shut the door.
Yeah, Louise is just going to shut the door. that's your microphone. That's your mic. We'll go back and get it then. It's okay, you don't have to. Go. I'll turn your microphone off. So Louise is just going to shut the shop. Yeah, if you use fine silver is going to be soft, and I don't think you can really harden fine silver enough to stop it bending. That's why I would never use fine silver when it comes to making settings. As easy it is to burnish over, if it burnishes over easy, it can always bend back easy. So I would always use sterling silver for that, definitely. Oh gosh, Romy, yes, we were in a Santa hat for the webcast Delft Play 13th of December. That was a long time ago, isn't it? Argentium silver versus silver, which one is better? What would that be shown with hallmarking? Again, I find Argentium, for me, I've never really used it enough to have any experience when it comes to it. Some people swear by it. Again, me purely, I find there's a whole different way of working with silver, but me personally wouldn't try and invest in Argentium. I would simply carry on using sterling silver. For me, that's far, far easier than trying to learn another metal. And that's basically what it is. You're learning the properties of another metal, how it folds, how it bends, how it saws, how it solders, the flux and so forth. For me, stick with sterling silver. What else we got here? Pandemic, jewellery's kept me alive. Any tips for creating moulds for wax injection? I keep getting air bubbles trapped in the models and escaping through vents with football or round shaped pieces. Sometimes what you'll find is that if there's air in the mould, perhaps there is air in the wax as it's going into the mould. So look at that. That's the first place to look at. It's doubtful the air is being taken into the mould itself. I'll put you back on. It's doubtful whether the air is being taken into the mould. It's usually in the wax to start off with. So for us, we always put the wax under pressure. If it's squirting out through the vents, you may not have, we use rubber molds and we use an aluminium plate on the bottom, an aluminium plate on the top to evenly distribute the pressure across the whole mold. Sometimes we will use our fingers to squeeze it, or we'll simply use a simple clamp to clamp a gentle pressure, inject it with the wax. If the wax is squirting out through the vents, the pressure is too much in your pressure chamber, so reduce the pressure in that. If the wax is too hot, it may be bubbling slightly, and that may be introducing bubbles into the wax. So I'm not quite sure, 150 degrees if I remember right, and we use a pressure about 2 bar. I think it's 2 bar in the wax injector, though I can't remember because it's upstairs. But look at the origin, look at the wax. Sometimes then the mold isn't tight enough, but if it's still squirting out, the pressure's too much. Reduce the pressure and keep experimenting, and then when you get the right temperature and the right pressure for that particular mold, write it on the mold with a biro, ballpoint pen, so when you come to that mold you go, right, 150 degrees, so pressure, right, together, and it's done. Easy as that. So you get the right temperature, right pressure, right on the mold. Thanks for that. Always being patient and respectful when answering our questions. No, there is no such thing as a dumb question. We don't pick questions because they're interesting or anything like that. Louise goes through the questions one by one, unlike me apparently. One by one, we just take them as they come. As I say, no question is silly. There may be questions that I don't know the answers to, and I'm happily.
Is that why you were skipping?
Ha ha ha. So there may be questions that I don't know, and I'll tell you if I don't know, but usually we know the people to go and ask. So you're more than welcome. Happy to help. Happy to help.
Bunny.
Bunny, go on.
Turns out Bunny was shamming the whole time.
He was, wasn't he?
Oh,
What?
we haven't paid the vet.
We took the cat to the vet. When was it last?
It was last Monday.
Was it?
Yeah.
We took the cat to the vet. Vet could find nothing wrong with him. We think he was just shamming. He was just on a bit of a hunger strike, we think. Gave him an anti-inflammatory. Cat's right as rain.
Did you say cats are devious?
Yeah, cats
I thought
are
you'd say cats can get depressed or cats can be, I don't know, down in the dumps. But you went, cats can be devious.
Devious.
It's like, right, okay.
And we haven't paid our cat bill, our vet bill, have we? So
Better pay it, haven't we?
we better put it in the diary.
Sick again.
Anything else we need to say? Yeah, Steve. Yeah, okay. She got me. Yeah, I know. She got me. All right. So for those who are watching, we did have a bank holiday special that ended last night. So for anybody, and I'll extend it now for one more day because it seems silly to have had it over the bank holiday and not today and telling you guys about it. If I can get my screen up on my computer here, but it is so slow. I will tell you now, if you want to join at the bench, down here you go wrong way, there you go, atthebench.com. It's our online jewellery training website. It's up by here. I'll keep going this way, there we go, there it is by there, atthebench.com. If you want to join up for half price, it's normally £180 for a year. If you want to join for half price, that's £90. Whatever it is in your country, it's half price. If you want to join, use a coupon code. At the moment, the coupon code has expired. I will make sure that over the next 10-15 minutes, it will go live. It'll go live for 24 more hours. If you want to know what it is Bank Hall 50. All right, so if you want to, Louise, could you just pop that into the chat if you don't mind? It's Bank, B-A-N-K-H.
Hang on,
O
I was typing
L
something else. Whoa,
5
whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, Bank Hall 50.
I can remember that actually.
If you want half price membership to at the bench, or at the bench here, Bank Hall 50. Can you see that? Jason, straighten yourself up, mate. Straighten. Look smart. Bank Hall 50. It's not live just yet. Give me a little bit of time after the live stream to get this done. The computer has been really slow today. We're going to put that up. Bank Hall 50, 50% off a 1 year or yearly membership to At The Bench. I know there's a few people on today that have joined up to At The Bench. Gillian is one of them. You can talk to me. You got the request, some feedback. You got some pictures. You got some items. You got a problem with your work. You can get in contact with me direct, and I will directly come back to you with answers to your problems. That's something that you can do with At The Bench. Some people do email me, some people message me on YouTube or on Instagram. I won't guarantee that I'll answer everybody's questions, but you go on to At The Bench, you go submit a feedback request. I will certainly get in contact with you to help you, no worries at all. You've got 1,500 films, you know the score, 1,500 films to choose from. Let me have a look, Bank Hall 50, where are we to? Yeah, all right, let me have coupons, there we go. Okay, so Bank Hall 50, half price membership to At The Bench for the next 24 hours, starting in about 10 minutes time, and I will make sure that you will have half price membership. Best value membership to an online jewellery course, I think, anywhere. It's you know, there are other places out there that will charge you 30 quid for one course or for one project. So for £90, the equivalent of 3 courses from somewhere else, you've got access to 1,500 films, 30 years worth of experience. You've got access to me as well. You can post pictures, you get comments, you can request films as well that we will make, especially not necessarily just then for you, but for the whole At The Bench community. Thousands of members are on, all gaining the knowledge from my experience. As you can see, this is a real workshop, warts and all, So we do everything. We do casting, dovetail casting, we do hints and tips, we do product reviews. I work with other companies that bring you products as they come in. Oh my gosh, I can't even find it. My bench is so messy at the moment. So we will bring you the books, the tips, the tricks before most places will get them. And we will certainly give our honest reviews. Here we go, end date on the coupon. Let's change this now. So we're going to end it tomorrow night, midnight. So you now can use Bank Hole 50 to get half price membership to At The Bench. So you get access to the whole thing. You don't get access to one course, 2 courses or 3 courses, projects, tutorials. You get access to hundreds and hundreds of projects. You want to see something as well that isn't on there, we will do it for you. That's enough talking. Louise, do you want to say anything else, my dear?
No, thank you, dear.
So I think that is about it for today. Any more questions that are on that need to be answered that are pretty urgent, you know?
No, not that I can see.
All right, so
Lots of support for At The Bench, and lots of people saying lots of lovely things, which we're really grateful for. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've mentioned about the 12-hour next marathon session in November. That's all. Still have to got to organise that amongst everything else we've got to organise.
I was going to say that's ages away, but it's not.
It's not.
It's going to be 2 months away.
Just around the corner now. And we're doing our Andrew and Louise's weekend workshop, getting that underway as well. We're doing the courses as well. Come on, Louise, pull your finger out. We've got so much to do. Come on. This is a 24-hour job, a day job. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, I know.
Romy
Step over engineering.
has a
There's no
question.
follow-up for my square stone bezel question. Do the 2 L shapes work if I have stepped bezel wire? I expect getting a small gap at the seams.
Okay, so what you got to do, you got to allow for that. So when you come to have your square shaped stone and you've cut your bezel for here, and you want to put this bezel in, at this end here, yes, your end is cut straight, but you do actually have to cut a little bit. Can you see that? I'm quite sure they can actually see that. I'm maybe drawing this a little bit on the small side. By here, there we go. Just about see it. You actually then have to cut a little section of the bearing wire out like that. So this wire then goes in place like that. So I understand what you mean, because if you kept your edge here and you got your bearing wire coming into place, yes, there is going to be a gap, but you've got to cut into the edge for that to come in, and your stone is sitting here in this area like that. So yeah, good question. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is important to know. Cut a little bit out or just file away a little bit of the step, but doing that is the best way to do it. But yeah, nice one, well done. No time to go on holiday, is that us?
Yeah, what?
Holiday?
A what?
Holiday, Louise? We don't have holidays.
I don't remember what that is.
Oh dear. Break over, back to the patients. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Fingers crossed we'll be back upstairs in nicer surroundings. Won't get interrupted then, will we? It'll be far better upstairs. Wine time, yes, Steve. Thank you very much, Steve, for the $20. Louise really appreciates
Steve.
that as well. Really do appreciate it. I am using your pliers. Yes, this week. I have been using your pliers, Steve. I will get round to taking some more photographs of these. But Steve Satow, go and check him out. He makes some awesome tools, modifications, and so forth. Yeah. I will try and do my very best to do some publicity for Steve. Okay.
I was just wondering if you were going to label them up like your tweezers.
Don't
Yeah.
show them.
What?
No.
What? Jason Pinch's tools.
There's a not very nice warning on the other side, though.
So can we focus on that? They say, they are mine. That's the clean side. Yeah, Jason Pinch's tools. So I've got a bit of a reminder not to pinch tools. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Anything you want to say? Do you have links for the pliers? Steve, if you're watching, if you have something like a Facebook page or something that you can direct people to, please pop it into the chat. If you do that now, it may not allow it, but Louise will let it go through. Yeah, but Louise will let it go through. Thomas, that was my surprise at the end. This Bank Hall 50 half price membership to At the Bench. That's what. It's okay. That's the best surprise I can give you, I'm afraid. Steve who? Gillian, Steve who? Steve Satow. Steve, please put something down there if you want, and if not, I'll try and get some information and post it on the film. Okay, time to go. Wine time. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching today. Louise? Yes?
Yes.
What?
What? You've got polish on your face.
They can't see you now. You moved too far back now. They can't see you on the camera. That's better.
You have polish on your face.
Have I had there all the time? Oh, here? No. There? Where?
Yeah.
Oh dear. It's one of the hazards when members of the team don't tell you. You go out there and you've got black eyes and black faces from polishing.
I live with that.
Okay, so everybody go onto Facebook, search for Steve Satow. It's Satow. You do say it right, Satow, isn't it? Satow, yeah. Go and search for Steve. Lots of tool modifications on there. He'll tell you how to modify them, or you can buy them from Steve as well. That's it. Cool. Everybody, take care. We will see you Monday next week, which is the 7th.
Oh.
Are you working Sundays now? Are you, Louise? You want to work Sunday?
7th? No, it's the 7th.
It is the 7th, yeah.
What did I say?
6th.
Oh.
It is the 7th of September. Next question and answer. Please come on, ask some questions nice and early. We'll get through to them and hopefully we'll be upstairs with no interruptions. So everybody, take care. Say goodbye, Louise.
Goodbye. Have a fab week.
And we will see you all next Monday, 4 p.m. Slide up, Louise. Ready?
Oh, no.
Come on, Lou. Come on. Come on. Ready? All right. Everybody, take care. We will see you all next week. Take care. Bye.